Hi there, in this tutorial we will learn about lens flare in Adobe Photoshop. So what is lens flare in Adobe Photoshop? You will see lens flare when you point your camera lens toward a bright source of light. It could be anything from the sun to artificial lighting, often a circle of light into your images. But they could also appear like diamonds, stars, or sunshine, or any other shapes depending on your lens you have in your camera. Actually, lens flare effect to an image in Adobe Photoshop without making any permanent changes to original photo by using layer and layer blends mode. So let's take a look the entire process of lens flare in Adobe Photoshop, that how you will add a lens flare in Adobe Photoshop. So at first we have to open our exercise file. So here is the file menu, here is the open option, and inside the blur and filters folder you will get this Jonathan Unsplash image. So you just have to select it and then you have to click open. So this is our image. So we have to duplicate this layer at first. So let's duplicate this layer. You just have to right click on here, then you will get this duplicate layer option. So let me write lens flare and let me click OK. So you can take a look, we got a new layer, and please make sure this lens flare layer is selected. And now we will apply the lens flare filter in this image. So let me click on this filter menu, and from there we will go for render option, and inside the render option you will get this lens flare option. Okay, at first I want to show you 50-300 zoom lens, and here is the preview, and here is the brightness parameter, and here is the pointer. You can take a look, here is a plus sign, and you can move it somewhere in image. So let me reduce the brightness, and I want to place this lens flare in here. So let me click OK for get the final preview. Okay, you can take a look, we got our lens flare in this image, and let me show you another lens flare. And before that we have to undo the lens flare, and therefore we have to click on edit menu, and here is the undo lens flare option. Okay, let me click on filter menu, then render option, and here is the lens flare option. Okay, we just used 50-300 zoom lens, and now I'm going to show you 35 prime lens. Okay, I want to increase the brightness. Okay, and let me place this lens flare in the sky, and let's increase the brightness a little bit more. I want to place it over here, and now you can take a look, this lens flare looks like a sunshine. So if you want to add any sunshine in the sky, then you can use this lens flare. So let me click OK. Okay, you can take a look, we got 35 prime lens flare in this image, and we placed in the sky, and now it's look like a sunshine. So right now I'm going to show you another lens flare, but before that we have to undo the lens flare. So here is the edit menu, and here is the undo lens flare option, and we have to do the same things, filter menu, render option, and here is the lens flare option. Right now I'm going to use movie prime lens flare option, and let me increase the brightness, and you can take a look. Okay, we got the movie prime lens flare effect in here. Here is the preview, and let me click OK. Okay, you can take a look, we got the movie prime lens flare in our image. So this is how you will use lens flare in an image in Adobe Photoshop.